Hi, I'm Murphy Anderson, and today my project will be caffeine's effect on sleep. What is caffeine? Caffeine stands for 137 trimethylanesine and is one of the most widely used stimulants in the world. Stimulant meaning it speeds you up instead of slowing you down. Often found in things like coffee, energy drinks, or soda. So think Diet Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, or like Alani, Starbucks, any of that. Almost 90% of adults in America consume caffeine, with it averaging around 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is a lot. That's almost like 300 million people. How caffeine works: caffeine is an adenosine receptor antagonist and primarily acts on A1 and A2A receptors. A1 and A2A receptors are involved in things like sleeping, arousal, and cognition. And caffeine is absorbed very quickly through the stomach and small intestine, but can also be strengthened by other types of drugs. So, nicotine can increase the metabolic speed of caffeine by as much as 50% of its half life. And then, how caffeine works basically after being ingested is that it mimics adenosine and attaches to adenosine receptors, blocking the adenosine from getting there, and it makes us feel more late, alert, and awake. And so you can see in the normal side, there's the adenosine in the receptors. On this side, the caffeine's on the receptors, blocking the adenosine. So, some positives. There are some positives and some negatives of caffeine on sleep. A positive is certain studies, such as the journal that I looked at, the effects of caffeine that showed that 200 milligrams of caffeine can elicit performance benefits, 3 hours of additional sleep. So that's it. People take it just to like help them wake up in the morning, just act faster, everything. It can also help increase physical and cognitive functioning. Even at low doses, it can help you perform better. And things like caffeinated chewing gum, it was shown that it can help improve your neurobehavioral functioning after sleep deprivation. But it's only sleep deprivation up to like 21 hours, so you can't go like 2 days without sleeping and thinking this will help you. In studies where participants took doses of caffeine near bedtime, which this is one of the negatives, this is associated with significant sleep disturbance. So it's harder to get to sleep. Sometimes it's harder to stay asleep. Some of the sleep disruptive effects, such as your heart beating or you just not being able to go to sleep, can be classified as insomnia. And then using caffeine can just like build on it, so it can cause sleep deprivation, which may cause you to use more caffeine, and it just builds on each other. Because, yeah. And then caffeine studies have been popular for a while. The first study was done by P. Hollingworth in 1912, and he concluded that caffeine does disturb some people. But now looking at one of the modern day studies, in one study they had the participants take caffeine 0, 3, or 6 hours prior to bedtime, and they all showed that their sleep was disrupted. It also showed that stage one and stage two, so the first stages of sleep, had less minutes compared to those who just took a placebo. And then caffeine can reduce total sleep time by even 1.1 to 1.2 hours if you just take it a couple hours before bed. So think if you need 7 or 8 hours to sleep and you take caffeine, you're already down to like 6 hours. One thing that did not seem prolonged though was sleep latency. And then here are some of the percentages, if you want to look. And now another caffeine study. This study, instead of like being like an actual experiment, was just a survey that was seeing which people who drink caffeine had insomnia. symptoms, and 19% to almost 30% of the respondents had insomnia symptoms, and almost half of the caffeine users were heavy to moderate. There were significant associations that were seen between caffeine consumption and all insomnia symptoms while using it during the day. So maybe taking it at the beginning of the day may help you, but if you take it right before you go to bed, it's not going to help you. But anyways, I hope you could take something from this. Maybe try and drink less caffeine throughout the day or take it early in the day. But that's the end of my presentation, and I hope you liked it.